Housing predicted to fall and then rise in 2024. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein or cup of cheap coffee and let's have a look at this article here from news.com.au. Australian house prices are predicted to rise significantly in 2024. Now remember, there's talk of property falling 15%, property crashing down. But you've got to understand, that's from a peak. Property went up, 20%, 25% in some areas. It has been crazy. So a 15% correction means we're just going to go back a couple of years. It's not going to be massive like some people are hoping and trying to time the market with an asset that you probably need to just take advantage of and live in too. So it's challenging and frustrating. Economists have made a bold prediction about when Australia's property prices will start rising again. Okay. Economists are predicting Australia's house prices will rise again in 2024 after a slump coming out of the pandemic, warning buyers in big cities to prepare for another spike. Well, remember, when there was all this talk of a correction, there's models run by the RBA of a 40% fall. We all saw that. I did videos on it. Every day there was discussion about it. There was article after article. What happened to property prices? They dipped a little bit, and then there was demand. There was still a level of demand there. Now, the thing is, even if interest rates go up, retail discretionary spending goes down, some people can't borrow as much as they can, and property starts trickling down. But if we see an increase in demand, say from international migration to Australia being kicked up, international students returning, the economy turning around again and improving, and couple that with a significant reduction in supply due to builders going bust again and again and again, what do you think that could do for the market? Demand for existing established houses. It can add a support level. You know, have we burned through all the demand already that was sitting there from all the people that missed out in the last couple of years? Well, Westpac experts predict property values to plunge through 2023. ANZ senior economist Adelaide Timbrell said steady wage increases would generate at least 5% rise in property prices in 2024 and beyond. Once we hit 2024, we'll have seen enough wage increases and a little bit of an easing in mortgage rates, which together will create a 5% increase in house prices throughout the year, she said, according to the Daily Mail Australia. Timbrell also referenced the incoming expiry of 2% fixed-rate mortgages between 23 and 24 as a major driver in the expected price change. That's when we're really going to start to see households' cash flow impacts of these rising rates, she said. We do see Sydney and Melbourne being among the worst performers. People tend to maximise their borrowing capacity more often in Sydney and Melbourne because house prices are more expensive. So the question is that once people get off those fixed rates, and I'm one of them, I've got until 2024, I went in under 2% because, well, one, I didn't trust the Reserve Bank, and here's a little chart just to show you their ability of forecasts, which I hadn't seen before until I started doing YouTube. And someone sent me this. I found other charts. And it just shows you they're running our economy. And they keep getting stuff wrong. But I had no faith in them. But for me, mainly, it was to stop me paying off my mortgage for a few years and get my house renovations done. Because I was just throwing every single thing. I was doing the pocket money investing, chucking every $5, $10, $15, extra $1,000 I earned, just everything I found on the mortgage, just to slowly chip away at it. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that locked in the 2% or sub 2% because they don't trust the RBA, not because they're struggling. I wonder how many people are paying more than that already. You know, locked in a lower rate and still paying that extra 10 grand a year they can. So we'll have to see. So I don't know if all of this will actually lead to dire catastrophic amounts of people heading to mortgage stress and all hitting the wall and forced to sell. We saw the number of mortgages, or the number of people that were being forced to sell by the banks, was still 0.5% of the monthly turnover. Okay, so 0.5% of all of the turnover, that's equal to the number of people forced to sell by the banks. That was the peak. That's not much. So, economists said reduced borrowing capacity as interest rates rise was likely to cause prices to fall in 2022 and 2023. Now the decline in housing prices that we're seeing at the moment will continue to see for the next 18 months is really more about borrowing capacity than it is about distress, she said. There are not as many idiots out there just trying to get whatever they can for their house. I mean, FOMO has just gone nuts, and people were trying their luck. They were trying their luck. It's not that we expect to see a lot of houses coming up for sale because of people not being able to afford their mortgages. Trimble's prediction came after Westpac economists told Aussies to expect a further decrease in prices through 2023, with the nation's two largest cities expected to plunge by an eye-watering 18% over the next 12 months. So, what are we going to be back at? Let's have a look. Okay, let me bring up this chart here. We'll do SQM. Oh, this is capital city data. Let's go to asking prices in Sydney, and we'll refresh this to have a look. These are the asking prices. It may not necessarily be what people want, but you can see it's already come off a peak. What's a 3-bedroom house? $1.4 million. So say we lose 18%. Make the maths easy for me. What's that? 10% is 140, so 20% is 280. So we're at 1.2 million. So if we go back to, what's this? 3-bedder, 1.2 million. How far back do we go? 2019. 2019. Okay. So, and it's kind of been hovering at that level for a few years. So we're just going back to the last plateau. Is that what we're hitting at? Is that the support level that's now been established in the housing market in Sydney? So for all this fear, and you've got to remember, guys, I mean, YouTube, the media, everything, it's an entertainment business, and they need to get eyeballs. And the way to get eyeballs is to play up the fear. We saw now the stock market is taking a hiding in the US as Powell remains more hawkish. Crypto has taken a hammering. Hang on, I'll look at it now. Yeah, Bitcoin's hovering at 20,000, just flirting with that 20,000 figure. And you've got to think, oh no, it's all coming to an end. Quick, sell, have an emotional reaction. And that's what they'll play up. And they'll be all the YouTubers are warning you about this great falls. I mean, why? What are you going to do? What's your horizon? If you're a trader, like a day trader, you shouldn't be taking your advice from randoms on YouTube or from the media. You should, if you're trading the news, good luck to you. That's bloody hard. Then that's what you're doing, is you're trading the news. But if you've got a long-term time horizon, if you're 10, 20 years planning for investments, are you going to try and time a dip? Or are you just going to keep going? And how many people will do that with property? Do you think the guy who has 283 properties that we spoke about the other day, you think he's going to frantically sell? Or he'll up his rent? He may sell because the government's been a pain in the ass. If the Greens bring in this rent control, then you'll see properties flood to the market. That may be the way to do it. But the problem is, then there'll be no incentive to build. So it'll only be a temporary fix. Westpac's economists say Sydney and Melbourne will soon see the decrease, with property values in the New South Wales capital predicted to fall 10% this year and 8% by 23. The report also found Melbourne was the inverse of that, expected to drop 8% this year and 10% next. Hobart slated to miss out as dwellings are tanked to drop 14% in the next 18 months. Yeah, but Hobart has gone crazy too, guys. In all, the author of the Westpac August Housing Pulse report said senior economist Matthew Hansen warned that the situation looked bleak. Yeah, and we've seen this time and time again. Let's have a go here. Look at their price predictions. Their 2024 price predictions. Sydney 6% would see the value rise. Wait, okay, hang on. This is their prediction. So in 2024, this is where they're seeing it's getting. They'll say Sydney at 1.2 million, Melbourne at 880,000, Brisbane at 820, Adelaide at 595, Perth at 529, Darwin at 582, Hobart at 691, and Canberra at 941,000. So, still very high. Look at Brisbane, approaching $1 million. We're getting up there like Melbourne, everyone. We know we're meant to be the affordable city. We should be closer to Adelaide. But no, there you go, shooting up. So let's have a talk about all of this, guys. Now, I think we're going to see more and more of these type of articles in the media, just playing up the fact that property is going to come crashing down, 18%. But you've got to remember, there's been a significant increase in property. It's overheated. We're coming off the peak. Now, with the US Fed increasing rates, or hawkish, so most likely to increase rates, will our RBA continue to increase rates? Particularly when they're not going to really see the impact of it as much as they hope until these fixed rate periods end. Or are they going to cool off, like others are saying, because they may have gone a bit too hard too fast? We'll just have to wait and see. And I think you need to realize this is all being put out there to generate attention. And I suspect also to manipulate political opinion. Because would anyone be surprised with massive government intervention to keep the housing market going here in Australia? I certainly wouldn't. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan of the channel, what's happening there? Oh, that didn't work. If you're a fan of the channel, there are a few ways you can support us financially via YouTube or Patreon, using our referral links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband, or you can just like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Take care, and hopefully I'll fix my broken slides next time. See you later. And I bet the sound isn't working either. Oh, nope, it's not going. Maybe I'll have to sing. You don't want to hear that, guys. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'm exhausted. I've been cutting bloody steel pipe underground, so it's one video today. See you later, guys.